So, this is, I guess, a follow-up, my grievances about what people think category. I don't know what this is. It's basically, I don't know, my views of how companies work and how people react to how companies work and why we shouldn't get that invested in it. I mean, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to talk about these things, whether it's their stock prices or their revenue or the community, the size of the community, the number, the player base, the collector base, whatever. It's fun to talk about this stuff, and it's fun to talk about what's going on in the market. But there are certain people, and it's a lot of people over the, I don't know, the decade and a half of, or I guess now it's almost 20 years of YouTube, and YouTube for gaming, where if it's, collectible card games like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or board games, large board game manufacturers or Kickstarter board game manufacturers, or TTRPGs, role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and Paizo's Pathfinder, or any other RPG, and there are people that are adherents to that product, and when certain things change and the company that makes it makes changes and starts delivering a difference on the product, or more product or less product, or different types of product, or changes a storyline or a mechanic or something, people often get out their pitchforks and they start yelling bloody murder, and that this is ruining the game, this is ruining the product, this is ruining the fandom, whatever. And people just shouldn't get so invested in something. If they're a company and they're going to ruin their own product, well, then they're going to ruin their own product. You've got what you've got. Like, if it's Magic the Gathering, you've still got your Magic the Gathering cards. They don't suddenly start shriveling up if Wizards of the Coast dies. If Wizards of the Coast goes bankrupt tomorrow, you've got all your Magic the Gathering cards and you can still play Magic the Gathering. There may not be any further sets, but does there need to be? That's debatable. Same thing with a board game, especially because you already got your board game. And if there were no real expansions planned, maybe there's a new edition that may be planned or something like that, but you've got your board game. So what do you care if this board game company is going to shoot itself in the foot and go down? It doesn't really matter. Same thing with a role-playing game. You've bought the books for the role-playing game that you like, and you've probably got most of the books that you need. Any further books are just icing on the cake, and if they go bankrupt and they're not making this role-playing game anymore, oh well, you've got a game you can use for life, and it's fun. So I don't ever try to decide for a company whether their choice is good or bad. I will make a educated guess as to whether it'll be bad for me or bad for consumers or bad for fans, but not in the way that it's going to ruin anything. And also, even if it's bad for me because I can't get further stuff from it, I've still got what I've got and I don't particularly care. And there's other stuff from other companies that will be doing well, and I can buy those things. Or I can buy nothing, and I can put it into a retirement savings plan, which is probably a better idea, just not as fun. So I don't understand people getting so outraged. And then the 20 years of watching videos on YouTube about people complaining about this sort of thing, what really irks me is the certainty. This is going to destroy the game. This is going to bankrupt the company. This is it. It's all over. And as we know, with Magic the Gathering, people have been saying that since the 90s. Every decision that Wizards of the Coast has made, someone has said, that's it, this game's over. They're going to go bankrupt, and we're never going to get any more Magic the Gathering product. And yet, here we are, and it's bigger than ever. Dungeons and Dragons, same thing. And while Dungeons and Dragons is in a lull, it's still bigger than anything prior to 5th edition. Yeah, and I don't know what the sales number on Pathfinder and their 2nd edition, but I'm sure they're doing quite well. And board games, whether it's Fantasy Flight or Asmodee or whatever decisions they're making decisions to benefit their revenue, their bottom line, their profit margin, their shareholders. And it may not align necessarily with players, but you've already bought the product you want. Anything else that they put out is icing on the cake. And if they don't put out the kind of stuff that you want, if they've changed in a way that you don't like, well, that's not very good icing. So just eat the cake, right? I oh, so I guess I've stumbled into the Marie Antoinette portion of the video where I just told people to let them eat cake. But whatever. I'll let you guys eat cake. Have a good day. Let me know what you think in the comments below.